Y'all, we need to talk about The Sims 4 because what started out as one of the most hyped life simulation games somehow turned into one of the most controversial ones I've ever seen. There is so much going on, including news and updates, which we're going to get into, and we have some confirmation in regards to patch updates and bug fixes coming soon. So just stay tuned with me, guys. If y'all have any opinions, please leave them down below in the comments. Y'all know I love reading those, and we're going to be talking all just about the future of the franchise as well. But before I get into any of that, I do want to say what is up, guys. My name's Simian. My name is Yen. I play The Sims. Did you see what I did there? And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. I talk all things life simulation, and if you have anything you want me to cover, just go ahead and leave it down below. Now let's get into the topic, because when The Sims 4 first launched, the excitement was very much real. A lot of people were very excited. It's been over a decade since they came out, and people were coming off of games like The Sims 3, which had open world, tons of customization, and honestly, the bar, y'all, was pretty set. And even though The Sims 4 launched missing some features, I still feel like people thought this was really huge because, again, this was pretty big for its time. Again, this was over a decade ago, and the developers did have a lot of big dreams for this game, okay? They did say that they were going to expand over time, which they did. Constant updates, building a long-term platform, and for a while, I do believe it actually worked. But I do feel like over the past decade, things, it just started getting a little wonky, a little messy. They started doing these new updates, these new things that they were like, you know what, this is what we're going to be aiming for. And I feel like this is where it started to get a little bit blurry. We got expansion packs, game packs, stuff pack, kits, bundles. And, basically if they could sell it, they did. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of sim packs were really great, but there was also a lot that just was not meeting the mark. There was a lot of things that came with expansion packs and game packs, like bugs and glitches, and I just feel like it felt rushed, incomplete, just features that were just cut to be put into another pack later. And that's when, a lot of the community started asking, why does everything that they do feel unfinished? There's a lot of controversy surrounding a lot of expansion packs, especially ones like life and death related, where there was a missing features, and some people expected cross-pack compatibility with The Sims 4 Seasons, and the world didn't have any snow and things like that. And it got a little rough, and a lot of players directed their frustration at the sim gurus and the developers and the community managers. And one of the most well-known sim gurus actually just stepped away from social media after that backlash and was like, I'm not about to respond to this. And there was a lot of criticism about the decision that probably wasn't even in their control, but the community's reaction was very intense. So at this point, the game had a dozen of add-ons and a full-on, in-game shop, and they just started doing so many layered systems where it got a little confusing. But instead of this feeling complete, it just feels like there's just a bunch of stuff in the game, and it's just like it's to the point where it's like, okay, where are they going with this? What's the destination? So everything exists, but nothing kind of connects with it, and I feel like that's where people start to get a little confused, especially with the marketplace controversy, which we're going to get into. I do want to say that they did end up introducing, it's not now just on PC, but it's fully across PC, Mac, and console, which honestly, some people think console players should have had access to it first, which I completely agree. They did roll out fixes and improvements, but still the reaction has been a little bit mixed, and I do not blame them whatsoever. It just like, some players are like, okay, cool, this is more content, but other people are like, wait, this is just more monetization. And they did end up stating that they were fixing a lot of the CC that was coming that ended up being broken with this pack. Now, I did want to quickly state some news and updates that happened with the community manager, and thanks to simscommunity.info, who actually was able to get this information in their article. And I'm going to link this article down below if anybody is curious. But basically, one of the community managers ended up stating, after a simmer said, I doubt you can answer it, but is the base game update an update, or is it just bug fixes? And the EA community manager ended up responding and saying, oh, it's an update, all right, but you'll need to wait for the laundry list to drop for more than that. Infants, toddlers, and general sin autonomy are the focuses of our upcoming base game update in May. So we are getting in a base game update, and they did say that we should be receiving a patch. Now, EA Cade has said a couple of things saying that, just wait for the laundry list to drop. There's more than that. So like we can expect a little bit more, but a lot of people are like, what is more? Now they did end up stating we're currently in final testing for a fix, and it is going to be included in our base game update in May, and we're also wrapping up work on resolving reports of scandals and other things that, you know, people have mentioned in the EA forum, and this is all going to be targeted in the May update. So thanks for your patience while we work through these. Now, a lot of players just don't trust it anymore, because again, people have seen every time that there's an update, people feel like, okay, but what broke this time afterwards? And a lot of simmers are like, they're completely over it. I mean, I've seen people say that they're done, but I also see people say I'm still gonna play, but I'm side-eyeing the whole thing, and I kind of don't blame them. I just feel like it's just, again, one thing after another when it comes down to what they're doing and where they're going with this. But I would love to know y'all opinions down below and how you guys feel about where The Sims is going, not just for like, you know, just DLC, but just in general. Like, I mean, the storefront is crazy. Bundles, moolah, creator kits, you know, and then these, like, it's just one thing after another, and it's just this really, really big selling point. I do want to get into a couple of Simmers' tweets. And one simmer ended up stating, nothing Sims 4 ads will be exciting anymore unless they're magically going to get a color wheel for everything, open world, and other high features like cars. What more marketplace junk, like, you know? And then someone else ended up saying, oh crap, updates are always coming with awful glitches. I hope they at least fix the old glitches. So a lot of simmers have a lot of up and down feelings with the whole thing, and I honestly just do not blame them. I mean, you can even go back and date from a long time of my videos how many bugs and glitches have been after each patch update, base game update, just adding even just a new DLC, and on top of all the broken things that are going on within the game and the game state itself, people are still wondering what is going on with The Sims. Like, where are they going for? And not even necessarily the entire franchise, because we know they popped up with merch. We know they said that they're going to be doing a movie. We know they said that they're coming out with all these new things that they want to bring into this. The board game, the card game. Again, there's more, but people are wondering, what about the game? What about the actual game itself that made all of this be able to happen? So a lot of people are just very confused on it, and I would absolutely love your opinions down below in the comments about this, because this is a topic that I don't have a lot of simmer friends to talk to about this, and I want to know what people think about this, because this is such an interesting topic. But y'all let me know down below in the comments. I did want to quickly, you know, mention about the sim gurus. Where did they go? You know, the sim gurus have basically disappeared from social media, and they used to like drop hints, talk directly to players, build hype, and now it's just so quiet. And I just, again, honestly, it just feels like they're responding to Backlash before it even happens and going, you know what, I'm not going to about to get criticized for no good reason. I'm going to back up and just do my own thing. And I think The Sims 4 is trying to figure out things as they go. I do think they have a plan, but at the same time, everything does feel kind of, they're waiting to see if how the Sims community is going to react with whatever they drop. And then if it doesn't react well, then they end up changing their whole plan. I felt like at first they had a timeline, and they're probably still going by that timeline, but they're also listening and waiting on community reactions to hear what we have to say. But I would love to know your opinions down below, because I know a lot of people have a lot of things about whether or not it's gonna, you know, take place. Like, another thing that could change depending on players' reactions, the sales, priorities. And right now it does feel like the future is kind of up in the air on where it's going and what they exactly want to do with it. But I don't know, y'all. I really don't know where they're gonna decide to go with this, because again, there's a lot of routes. But yeah, I want to hear from y'all. Do y'all think that The Sims 4 is still worth playing in its current state, or do you feel like something needs to seriously change? I know a lot of people do not have access to CCs and mods, which why a lot of, I do feel like PC players are still continuing on to play. But I also want to hear from the console. Do you guys feel like having the marketplace kind of changed your viewpoint and making you want to play now that you have access to these creators that you've never had access to before, and not necessarily relying on all of the Sims? You know, in general, just of what they have to put out. Y'all let me know down below in the comments what y'all think, and I just want to hear what y'all got to say, because at the end of the day, this is what this community is built for. I want to hear y'all opinions. I want to hear what y'all got to say, and yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up because it truly does help out my channel. And whether you're a silent viewer, you like my videos, you comment my videos, or you share my videos, at the end of the day, you still showed me some love, and for that, I thank you. I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!